Hello, welcome to another Made in China here on the Retro Core channel, and today I'm very happy because we have right here what is meant to be the ultimate version of the RS-97. Yes, that famous handheld console from China that you can mod to improve it, because to be honest, the original version out of the factory wasn't really up to spec. It really needed modding, but apparently this one doesn't need modding, and it's got a few new improvements to the case design as well. Notice the little joystick sticker here on the box. Okay, so the actual box that comes in looks exactly the same as the regular version. No difference there. It's the same old RS-97 box, apart from this little sticker. Okay, now inside the box, which I have already opened and taken out the tray, we get the instruction manual. This is the same instruction manual as always, so nothing new there. As you can see, it's the same old manual that we got in the old machine. And we get a TV out cable. So yes, this does have TV out, mono only unfortunately. And we have the typical USB mini to USB charging adapter cable. You can also use this to transfer data onto the machine. And this was also in the box. What's the point in this? What do I need this for? It's just a plug adapter. I can't use this to charge the machine up. Useless. Okay, so how about the actual machine? Well, let's take a look. And here it is. Now, you may be thinking, it looks the same as the old machine, but it's not. Check that out. Oop, there it is. Check this out. It's actually got a thumbstick on it now, which works pretty well. And they've improved the D-pad. The old D-pad used to lie flush with the case, so getting diagonals was pretty difficult, and you know, basically because the actual D-pad was too low in the case, but now they've risen it, and it feels a lot better to use. In fact, the D-pad is really good on this version. You've still got the start and select buttons there. You got the 4 face buttons. We got the speaker there. We got the L and R trigger buttons. We got the USB mini input. As I said, you can use this to transfer data onto the machine. We've got a button which looks like it's a brightness control, but it doesn't actually do anything. We got the TV out there. At the bottom, we've got a stereo headphone out. We've got a reset button. We've got the micro SD card slot. Now notice, it's not set in a Game Boy Advance cartridge. Remember the old machine used to have the Game Boy Advance cartridge with the SD card slot in it. This one doesn't. It's actually built into the machine, which is much better. And around the side, we've got the power button. And on the back, we can see we've got the lithium-ion battery. 3.7 volts gives you around about 4 hours of playtime. Not bad at all. So what we're all wondering is, how good is this machine? Is it really much better than the original version? Well, there's only one way to find out, and that's to switch it on and check it out. Okay, so as we can see, it's got the same old menu system. Nothing new there. So let's go into the game section and see what we've got. Okay, straight away we can see we've got CPS, Neo Geo, Game Boy Advance, Super Famicom, SNES, Mega Drive, Famicom, NES, Game Boy Color, Sega Master System, Game Gear, Game Boy, and yep, that's your lot. Alright, so let's start off with taking a look at the arcade stuff, CPS games. Now actually, I'm not going to go into the CPS section because it only has 36 games. So what I'm going to go and do is go into the Neo Geo section, because this actually does include CPS games as well. Okay, and it's got 117 games in total. So first, let's start off with a CPS game. Now I know Street Fighter Zero or Street Fighter Alpha is in here somewhere. Oh, hang on, Gigawing. There we go, that's a CPS game. How's it going to run that? By the way, I forgot to mention before, the volume slider is on the side here. Now, one thing that you may notice is how good this screen is. It's actually very vibrant and easy to see, even in direct sunlight. Okay, sound is good. Select puts in our credits. Oops, wrong button. How are the buttons being mapped on this? Oh, there we go. And as you can see, GigaWing is running perfectly fine. No screen tearing, no slowdown. As it should be. And the sound is good too. Okay, let's try out another Capcom CPS game. So you restart the game by pressing start and select, and we go to quit. Alright, where we go? Now you can remap the buttons by going to the button select right here. And so you can remap everything there, but I'm not going to bother doing that at the moment. Okay, let's get back into it. Oh yeah, moves are coming out. Yep, Dragon Punch moves work fine. Check. Yeah, no problem. Let's try this analog stick thing, or digital thumb pad I should say. It's in a bit of a weird position, I gotta say. It's not very comfortable to use being right down there in the corner. No. Well, it kind of works. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that thumbstick. Alright, let's take a look at another game. I'll tell you what, let's put the volume on full blast. See how it distorts the sound, if it does. So as you can see, it's very easy to get the moves out, and even on full volume, it doesn't seem to distort the sound, which is good. Alright, so we know Capcom CPS games work just fine. Alright, let's take a look at some Neo Geo games in action. The sound is a little bit on the grainy side, I'd say. Now I must explain, I'm playing these behind the camera, so it's very difficult to see what's going on. Alright, we're getting the moves out. Speed seems to be fine. Try the Dragon Punch move again. Yep, not a problem. This D-pad is really nice. Alright, let's give the thumbstick another try. Not a fan of this though. No, I'm not a fan of the thumbstick. I mean, it works, but it's a bit stiff, you know? D-pad's much better. Okay, let's try out one more Neo Geo game. I mean, that seems to run pretty good. The speed is fine. The sound is a little bit iffy on it. Alright, let's see. We can skip pages quicker by doing this. Okay, Shock Troopers. Let's give that a try. but the speed is fine. And again, I like the Capcom stuff. No screen tearing, no slowdown. Just slightly wobbly sound. And it's not that bad actually, to be honest. Alright, let's take a look at another format. Okay, so let's take a look at Game Boy Advance games. Normally these work just fine. Right, there are 744 Game Boy Advance games on here. A lot of games to choose from. Now that sound does sound a little bit grating, but then again, the original Game Boy Advance sounds grating, so that's probably correct. Alright, where are big buttons? Okay. Let's turn that down a little bit. No, not up. Oops, turns it off. Okay. I have no idea what I'm doing. There we go, we got a combo out. Oh, the L0 triggers are mapped. That's good. There we go. Alright, that seems to run pretty well. Okay, we've got other cars on the course. Let's see if it slows down. That music's not very good, is it? That's no fault of the machine, though. Yeah, so it looks like Game Boy Advance games run as they should do. Alright, let's check out another system. Alright, Super Nintendo sometimes causes an issue here and there. There are 270 Super Nintendo games built into this, so that's nice to see. Alright, what can we choose? Vortex is on here. That's a Super FX game. Let's start that up. Bottom up, they didn't release Vortex. I have a feeling this is not Vortex. No, it's not Vortex. What the hell is this? Oh, bloody hell. Alright, well that's labelled wrong. Alright, let's check out a different game. So many to choose from. Super Turrican, let's give that a try. Yep, buttons are mapped correctly. Nice. Okay, so Super Nintendo emulation seems to be fine. In the past, when we've checked Super Nintendo emulation, the sound has been a bit iffy, or it's ran at inconsistent speeds, but this seems to be okay. Alright, Super Nintendo is good. Don't worry, I'm going to check out some more Super Nintendo games later on, games which are notoriously difficult to emulate. Okay, Mega Drive, let's check that out. How good is Mega Drive? 638 games built into this. That is nice to see. Alright, let's choose a game. Okay, we'll choose Aero Fighters, or no, what's it called? Okay, Airbuster here. This will give us an idea if it sounds good and moves smoothly. Of course, Airbuster is famous for loading. That seems pretty smooth and the sound sounds good. Gotta say, I do like this D-pad, it's nice. Okay, first impressions, Mega Drive emulation seems good. Okay, again, I will be checking out more difficult to emulate Mega Drive games later on. But standard games seem to work just fine, no problems. Alright. Okay, I'm not going to try NES or Famicom, they always work. Okay, Game Boy Color. 178 Game Boy Color games built in. Let's just choose a game at random. I'm happy to see, or happy to hear, that the sound emulation is also good. Quite often on Game Boy emulators, the sound is very crackly. Not so on this device. Alright, good stuff. Okay, let's check out the next machine. Alright, Sega Master System. There are 50 Sega Master System games built into this. Let's see, I've got Streets of Rage, we'll try that out. Streets of Rage on the Master System is actually quite impressive. Just look at that, that's very colourful. Oops. It's kind of amazing how far the Sega Master System came along. If you look at Double Dragon on the Master System, then you look at this. They look like two completely different systems. This is way more advanced. And yes, it sounds and moves as it should. Perfect. Alright, next system. Alright, Sega Game Gear. There are 40 Game Gear games built into this machine. Alright, straight away I can tell you that this sounds and looks how it should. It's a shame the Game Gear never really took off because, as you can see, it's a pretty nice little handheld system. Graphics are really nice on it. Alright. Yep, seems Game Gear works just fine. Okay. And finally, we have Game Boy. I expect Game Boy to work just as well as Game Boy Color did. 221 Game Boy games built in. Alright, so we've got our favorites all there. Super Mario Land and all that stuff, yeah. Alright, got your Mega Mans. Contra on the Game Boy is pretty cool. Let's give that a try. Now, fortunately, the screen resolution is a bit weird here on the Game Boy. It's kind of elongated. And if we change the settings to full screen off, let's see if that's... Nope, that makes it even worse. That just makes it into widescreen. Alright, okay, well, we're kind of stuck with that. I missed my weapon. Bloody hell, I can't see what I'm doing. I can't see a thing from behind the camera. How do you use bombs? Oh, you press select. Okay, well, it looks like Game Boy emulation is working just fine. Alright, now I've got the SD card plugged into this machine and I've got it filled up with a couple of ROMs that don't normally emulate very well. Now, to access the SD card, you go to the file browser here. You go to previous directory and SD card is available there. Alright, so we've got the typical selection here. Okay, Mega Drive Battlemania, the beta version. Now this never seems to emulate properly on these Chinese consoles. Okay, let's see if it's going to work. It kind of works. Okay, now normally the middle picture does not appear, but on this machine the middle picture does appear, but the background colors are a bit messed up. Is this going to glitch out? Nope, the title screen didn't glitch out either. Alright, so it's already faring much better than the other machines. Now we normally get some screen tearing on this game as well, but there doesn't seem to be any. Alright, good stuff. Okay, another game which is very difficult to emulate for these Chinese machines is Panorama Cotton. Let's give that a try. Okay, now what normally happens when you play this on these emulators is that the road starts appearing over here in the corner, and then you get glitches all over the screen. So what we want to see is if we can actually fly down to the road and that it stays in one piece and the graphics don't turn all glitchy. And it seems to be working just fine. Yep, no problem at all. Alright, so it runs Panorama Cotton just fine. That's good to see. Okay, now let's move on to... It doesn't run Virtual Racing, by the way. I tried it before. It doesn't run it. Okay, it doesn't run PC Engine games. Now, one Super Famicom game which is difficult to emulate is Ghost Chaser. Usually the sound is really messed up and the colors are all wrong. And the scrolling on the floor doesn't work. Okay, scrolling on the floor is working. That's good. Let's check out the sound. Sounds okay. Big low. Let's turn up a little bit. Speed is good as well. This normally runs very slowly. And it doesn't have the yellow tinge over the graphics. So yeah, this is working just fine. Okay, so one more game which is difficult to emulate for these machines is Star Fox, and to be honest I don't expect it to run it. Let's give it a try. Yeah, well at least it's running it, that's one thing. Yeah, it's kind of unplayable by the looks of it. Yeah, that's not very playable, is it? But at least it works. Now we know why Vortex wasn't built into the machine. Okay, so there we have it. That is the brand new RS-97. Is it worth buying over the original version? You bet it is. The original version was good, but it had lots of issues. Lots of games ran at the wrong speed. It had terrible emulation on it. But this one, all the games run at the correct speed, and the emulation all around is pretty good. It's only Neo Geo and Mega Drive that have slight sound issues, but not that bad. The D-pad is far better on this machine. The fact we don't have that stupid cartridge looking thing to use SD cards is also a big bonus. The TV out on it is, well, not that good. I didn't really bother showing you. It's the typical composite video out, so nothing special there. But it does have PAL and NTSC TV options. So that's a bonus if you live in PAL land and are using a CRT. But yeah, definitely out of the box, this is a vastly superior machine to the original RS-97. In fact, it's that good, maybe I wouldn't even bother hacking the thing. I just leave it as it is. Okay, so if you're after one of these machines, the link is in the video description down below. Check it out.